Listen.
Brian,
Aw.
let's hear this story. Something happened with your Switch and your saves, apparently.
Where's the Switch?
I didn't bring it to work.
Well, you have the Switch though, right?
I have my Switch.
Still intact.
It's still intact.
Okay.
But
What are you playing on your Switch?
Okay, so long story short, a couple of months ago, and I, obviously you guys all know I love my Nintendo Switch. It's one of my favorite systems of all time. I play literally every game on it. I travel with it everywhere. Last year was a pretty tough year for me personally. I brought it on airplanes, I think 50 times. Yeah. Just flew everywhere with it. I love my Switch. At some point in the late fall last year, my Switch stopped connecting to my dock.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right. So it still worked in handheld mode. It just stopped connecting to my dock. And I don't know if it was because I use a dock at work and then two at home, or that I had tried it with a third-party dock or two, like never more than like just an hour or so, or even for just a quick video. But at some point, that USB-C connection down there that speaks to the dock and communicates to your TV so you can play on your TV stopped working. So I contacted Nintendo customer support. They were incredibly cool on the phone. Had a long time conversation with somebody who said, like, try it out like this, try it out like this. I tweeted about it. I asked other people if they've ever been through anything like this, and a bunch of people said they had. They said, try like holding it down for this long or resetting it or kicking it. Everybody has their own little tutorials.
Wrap a towel around it, get it all heated up,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
All that fun stuff. Didn't work. It still worked in handheld mode. So a big part of me was like, okay, I'm still going to keep traveling with it. I'll take care of this when I have to. March is when the Switch is turning 1. So that's the end of this sort of 1-year warranty. Quick PSA for those of you who have broken Switches, you have a couple weeks to get that fixed. So I contacted Nintendo customer support. They said, I explained to them my situation. I was like, I use it for work. What can you do? I will, pay for shipping, whatever it needs. I want to make sure that like all of my save files are intact, because I know that with a Nintendo Switch, even though it's a fantastic system, there's no way to actually back up your save files anywhere.
Right.
A couple months ago, they slightly rectified that by making a situation where you could buy a second Switch or obtain one and transfer the soul of your Switch to another one in its entirety.
But you need to have.
But you need 2 Switches. Yeah. And trust me, I'm so paranoid about this stuff that I actually went through the thing in my head where I was like, buy a second Switch on Amazon and transfer it. And now that is a fine solution if you have $300 to throw in the sky. I don't think that's really a justifiable thing for anybody to really have to deal with.
Nope.
But the reality is that the Nintendo Switch, like every other modern console and PC or anything like that, does not have cloud saves. It does not have a way to back up your saves to your PC, to your to your SD card, to literally anything. So where that leaves you is that if your Switch gets stolen, which happened to Jonathan Dornbush, I believe he talked about that last week,
Yeah.
Right.
Or if your Switch gets sent in for repairs and they can't fix it or anything like that, or they can't save it, all of your hard work and progress in your video games is gone. Your purchases are not. You can
That's tied to an account, so they can restore that.
So I was told over the phone with Nintendo customer support that my Switch save files would be okay, because it seemed like it was something that would be easy to fix. Now, here's the thing. When you go to do that system transfer from Switch to Switch, that is done through the USB-C port on the base of your Switch. So when that's borked, you're screwed. And I didn't know this, right? And so again, I have nothing but good things to say about Nintendo customer support. If you've ever dealt with them for any of your systems, which I know many of you have, you've probably realized that they're usually free. They are incredibly quick. They are honest, wonderful people on the phone, just really, really nice. So I have not a bad word in the world to say about them. The issue here is an issue for the system itself, where it is incapable of sort of backing up saves in any capacity. So I got an email from Nintendo right after walking out of a very positive, very high energy Nintendo voice chat reporting 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
That balloon got popped real quick. Greetings from Nintendo. Thank you very much for continuing to choose Nintendo. We'd like to inform you of the following. Your repair is currently in process and will ship back to you within a few days. For the interest of honesty, I sent them my Switch on a Monday. I got it back on a Friday.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow, that really
phenomenal.
fast.
Just like incredible.
Around, yeah.
We have inspected Nintendo Switch system, serial number blank, who cares? That was sent to us for repair and found that the issue has made some of the information on the system unreadable. Heart skipped a beat right there. As a result, the save data settings and links with any Nintendo accounts on your system were unable to be preserved. Please note that the actual Nintendo accounts were not erased, meaning that it's still possible to re-download any software, titles, or add-on content purchased on the Nintendo eShop. So that's a mini roller coaster. What it really comes down to is your DLC, your purchases, all that stuff, good to go. Your saves,
gone.
Goodbye.
Boy.
And I tweeted this out, and the responses were mostly people kind of understanding. Obviously, you have a bunch of people who use this as an opportunity to jump on and say, you should have bought a PS4, bro. And I'm like, I know, I'm on Podcast Beyond. I have one of those. I have a day one Xbox. I have a PC. I got everything. I'm good. We're there.
Play
Don't
your
worry.
PS4 and you're playing right.
I'm on your side. Show me where I can play Mario and Zelda on those, and then we'll have a real conversation.
No, but you bring up an excellent point, Ryan. I mean, like, it's been almost a year since, the Switch has been released, and we still have we don't have a cloud save option.
Yeah.
We don't have a way to preserve our saves in case something like this does happen to one of us. So it's very concerning for me. I'm a little worried about it. But, obviously they're working on something out there.
Yeah.
And there's a silver lining. Like, you can obviously re-download your games. You haven't lost your DLC or any of your downloads.
No. So
we're okay there.
You can access master mode, but all your shrines are gone and your clock seeds are gone and all of your, everything in Galaxy is gone, or Odyssey. And so it's heartbreaking because if this was a home console and sort of the amount of wear and tear that could happen to it would be limited, I wouldn't mind as much. I mean, it would still suck, not to justify this by any means, because I think this is a massive problem. It's such a big problem that when they had their investor meeting a couple weeks ago, investors, where they announced their online plans for this fall, where they're charging people for online, which, by the way, Sony does, and through that price, you actually do access cloud saves. That's one of the things you pay for at the PlayStation Plus.
I mean, maybe they might do that. We don't know what online is.
I hope so.
So
I hope so, because right now, and I'm a huge Nintendo fan. You guys know that. Right now, I don't really see a justifiable reason to pay for online. But investors got on that call. One specifically was just like, "What's up with the cloud saves, dude?"
Yeah.
He worded it differently, but it's definitely something that investors care about, that gamers care about, that it's the missing piece in something that is otherwise such an incredible piece of tech. And bringing it everywhere, it does bring on some wear and tear. Like the commercial shows you putting it in different docks, and I don't know if this was like it touched a third-party dock for 10 minutes or whatever it is. It just kind of sucks.
Zombie dock. Yeah, I mean, look, the confounding part here is that there is that bottleneck of the USB-C port, because the thing obviously has you have data that can be stored and removed.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't even understand how there isn't an application for the Nintendo repair folks to back up something
Exactly,
like
and
that. That's really weird to me.
That's the thing I really want to reiterate to people who responded to that tweet in a sort of like, well, this is on you to fix that, or people who just don't really understand, like, kind of pie in the sky how this stuff works. But yes, you literally cannot take out your micro SD card, plug it into an SD card reader, shove it into your PC and Mac, and back up your data. And you can't upload it to a cloud and re-download it like you can with other systems. Like, not to play console wars here, but my PS4 at home, I can play a game, put my PS4 to sleep, wake up in the morning, come to work, turn on the PS4 at my desk, and download like my Bloodborne save file, and then jump into a room and do a Let's Play. And it sucks, man. Like, it's it's just debilitating. Like, it just like really knocked the kind of like excitement and energy I have for this system out. And for a lot of these games, like, it's sort of tainted. And I know, like, I get to replay them all now, and that's
but
great.
even that, like, just the excitement isn't there like when you did it in the beginning. If I couldn't if I had to replay Zelda, a part of me doesn't feel excited. It feels like, oh God, I have to do this all over again.
It's also, I think what's different than say, I don't know, rewatching a movie, rereading a book, is that games in 2018 and beyond are such specifically personal things, in that the world that I was handed in Minecraft, that I then carved and shaped to my own liking, is one I can't recreate from memory ever again. The hero's path I walked in Zelda is something I would never ever be able to do. I mean, I saw people, there was a guy that got his framed, and it's just like cool looking, and it's like, this is my personal journey through this game. Like, the way I upgraded my armor and the horse I had, all the cool things that you do in those games, the dreadful memories I have of beating the bound ball races in Mario Odyssey. I don't want to redo those. It's like they are such deeply personal things. Your Stardew Valley farm, your Terraria town, all those things now are it's so much different than just like typing in a password for Metroid and fighting, being Justin Bailey or whatever. Like it's such a different time now. And so it's so much more important than ever before that this gets fixed. And so if you're listening, this could happen to you. I saw it happen to people that their Joy-Cons.
This could happen to you.
Yeah, I don't want to scare you, but yeah, straight up, this can. I saw people in my replies saying that they had a Joy-Con issue, and they sent it in, and the same thing happened. And it's like the Joy-Cons literally detached from the system. There's no reason for this to happen.
Yeah,
But this also means that instead of like, they obviously weren't able to just replace your port.
No.
Right? Like they either say, hey, we're not going to bother. This is unfixable. Send them a new system. Right.
Right.
Or like there's something, like I figured they would try hard to preserve the brains of your machine and the storage.
Yeah.
And just replace a part. But maybe it's just hard with these USB-C ports. Like you have to.
Seriously.
Yeah. I don't know.
So like
it's really interesting.
Nintendo, like from the bottom of our damn hearts, like please get on this.
Yes,
like this is so much more important than I would say almost anything else. Like all the games coming in the world are fantastic, but the idea of losing progress in all of them, especially when stuff like Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers come out. Animal Crossing is such a deeply personal game, down to that you are designing your t-shirts, you're giving characters in town catchphrases. The idea of losing all of that and having to restart it, it's terrifying. So please fix this.
Yeah.
I know, like, I'm just one dude on a show and I'm stupid, but this is so important.
No, it's a huge problem. You hit it right on the nose. Nintendo definitely needs to kick it into gear with the cloud saves because you're not the only person to go through this. I mean, the third-party dock that you were using, a lot of other people experience those same exact issues.
Sure.
So just be careful what you're plugging into the bottom of your Switch, people, because it could potentially ruin it.
But
Yeah, my Twitter @replies turned into like this weird war/support group of people being like,
we're here for you.
There's
too,
a lot
man.
of weird third-party docs out there that are spawning from like smaller companies too. Like there was that big controversy with the Svans doc. I don't know if you guys remember that. So,
Yeah. At the very least, I mean, develop software to let you take out the SD card and back it up somewhere else, right? So that it can be recovered.
Third-party docs
a
or
simple
not,
solution.
people were having it happen to them with dead pixels and broken Joy-Cons. So even if you only use official stuff, there is still no system. I mean, I think it shouldn't really be on the consumer to navigate this minefield of peripherals and problems that come inherently with hardware. We saw when the Switch launched, there were a litany of issues that slowly got sort of like quietly hammered out. But this is absolutely a problem, and it needs to be fixed. And so just be mindful of it.
Anyone out there, pour one out for Brian and Jonathan's saves.
I was going to get
Never
a 40
forget.
ounce to dump out on this show, like
Never
the Tupac
forget.
video. Just kind of.
Oh well. So that was just a small taste of our conversation this week on NVC. And if you enjoyed what you heard, head on over to youtube.com/Nintendo Voice Chat and subscribe for more Nintendo Weekly Conversations.